Sometimes life brings us challenges, and when attorney Ron Johnson goes to work every day, he's ready to fight for you. Ron Johnson represents clients in personal injury and wrongful death cases, provides mediation in matters such as wills and real estate transactions, and assists with Social Security disability. His goal is to serve his community and help his clients navigate complicated systems to access the benefits and fair treatment they are entitled to by law. He'll make sure you understand your rights and responsibilities and won't leave you behind to fend for yourself. Ron Johnson's office is local, and he is accessible to work with you personally, whether face to face, by phone, or video conference. Let his 53 years of experience help guide you to peace of mind and the best possible outcome in your case. Your first consultation is free. Charges for Social Security disability services are subject to approval by the Social Security Administration. Call the Law Office of Ron B. Johnson at 972-938-7163 or visit www.lawofficeofronjohnson.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hi, you are in Becky's kitchen today, and we're going to make some crunchy crisps. You know, it's too hot to do things outside, and so when I am stuck inside, I will just start looking for recipes. And this one caught my eye because it said brown crisp cereal, so I figured that was Rice Krispies. And then it said French fried onions, and I went, this sounds good. It said bacon. Okay, we'll try this. And it is good. And so that's what we're going to make today. And we'll start with the wet ingredients. In this case, it is half a cup of butter. And we've got two different kinds of cheeses. Now, the original recipe called for Monterey Jack cheese, but I didn't put that. I just did Jack cheese because I didn't want the hotness of it. And then it was extra sharp cheddar. I bought a mix. So basically, there's a third a cup of the Jack cheese and 2/3 a cup of the cheddar cheese. And so we're going to mix those on the mixer until they're all blended, and then we'll put in the dry ingredients. It won't take long to get this incorporated. Okay, so we've got our cheeses and our half a cup of butter, and I'm just going to mix them on the mixer for just a little bit. You can see the cheese and the butter is all mixed together, and now we're going to add the spices. Now, this one calls for 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, and that's a good amount, and it does add flavor, but this is such a versatile recipe. I think this kind of goes into like the Mexican type food. It's a little bit spicy, but you could change it out and make it Italian and use Italian cheeses. I mean, I think it's really versatile. It called for garlic pepper. I looked everywhere. I couldn't find it all the stores, and then just about an hour ago, I found it in my cabinet. So luckily, we get to do exactly what the recipe calls. But this is Himalayan pink salt, black pepper with garlic. And so I'm leaving out with the salt, the recipe called that salt, and I'm just putting it all in this. I think it'll be fine, and it's crunchy because these are crunchy. Remember, that's part of its name, crunchy crisps. I'm going to stir those up. Now, flour. This is just 1 cup of flour. And it's not too hard to do this by hand, or you can do it by the mixer. Just get it all incorporated in there. Kind of like making biscuits, I guess. These do not rise, but they are crunchy. Okay. Now we're going to put in all the crunch that makes it crunchy. It calls for 1/4 cup of French fried onion, crispy onions, and these are so good. So I'm going to crunch them up a little bit more. And I'm just estimating the amount. I don't think it matters because it's not liquid. It's not anything that's going to change it. Just make it more crunchy. I'll put those in. It calls for 1/4 cup of bacon. The first time I made these, I cooked the bacon, I crunched it up, and I said, no. For this recipe, these are just fine. I don't get the artificial. This says, real bacon, and that's what I use. And if you don't like bacon, don't put it in. Pumpkin seeds, and they wanted roasted and salted, so I just happened to have some of those. It's 1/4 cup about of those. These add the color, and I mean, they're just, every part of it, just wonderful. Okay, I'm going to kind of get these going before I add the Rice Krispies because I don't want to pulverize them. Now, I am going to have to do this by hand so I can make sure I get all the ingredients in all parts of the crunch. So I'm going to put these gloves on, and then I'll put in the Rice Krispies. And the oven is at 350, and you do not grease the cookie sheet because there's so much grease in here. Really, when you cut butter, cheese, fried onion rings, yeah. This probably makes 2 dozen, depending on how big you make them. But think about this. I bought a whole box of Rice Krispies to make this, and I have a lot of Rice Krispies left. So I can make a lot of these, and I bet you they freeze, because charcuteries are the thing these days, and almost every book I have says you want some kind of little cracker thing on the tray. And if you look at those fancy little crackers, they are not cheap. So you can make your own. Okay, it's starting to, come together. Yeah. So put it on the tray, and, I like them kind of small. And I just guesstimate that an inch maybe. And there again, you might have to kind of push them to get it all to stay together. And the same thing. Push down so they'll be a little flat. I guess you could actually, if you made them really small, you could make little cheese balls, and that would be okay. But if you want them crunchy, crispy, I would suggest you do this. They're going to bake for 14 to 16 minutes. They are addictive. You do have to kind of smush it together to make sure all those good stuff stays in there. You could serve these with a soup. I know it's too hot for soup this summer, but if you turn your air conditioner down, for appetizers, or I'll show you in a little bit what at this house, what our dinner is tonight. It'd also be a good hostess gift, if you're going over to somebody's house, a little cute box full of these fancy, easy to make gift would be cute. You could also change out, like if you don't want the pumpkin seeds in there, I think, you could use, of course, chopped pecans or something, but I thought maybe sunflower seeds would be good too. But the pumpkin seeds kind of add character because they're they have some color to them. It's got to be good for you because it's got so much fiber in it, right? And dairy, cheese and butter is dairy. no sugar. Well, no sugar. Maybe Rice Krispies have a little, but they're not sweet cereal. It's all good. Okay, so see, there's not that much left in here. So this is 12. You might make like a half a dozen, really, depending. I don't think we're going to get another dozen out of that. So you might. I wouldn't double the recipe and try to do it all at one time. It's too hard to mush it together. Just make it, eat it, make it, eat it. Okay, these will go in the oven. Make sure I'm flattening them. And here again, they don't really brown, but you want them crunchy, crispy, So I kept mine in there for 16 minutes the first time I made them, and they were good. Put them in the oven. Here we are with our finished crunchy crisps. Over on one end of this, I made a charcuterie. I'm not very good at it like my daughter-in-law is, but you know what? This is what we're having for dinner tonight. I can't think of a better hot summer night's dinner. We have cheese with a little bit of salami, the crunchy crisps, some tomatoes, and some dip, and we're good to go. So I hope you try this recipe, and you can get it at ellistownhome.com at Becky's Kitchen, and then I will see you next time in Becky's Kitchen.